You might have heard that a little Pokemon game called Pokemon Legends ZA is out this week, and I'm here with the 10 best tips to help you start your journey out in the best way possible. This is going to get you set and ready so your adventure is smooth and awesome, and you begin Pokemon Legends ZA in the best state possible. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. I've been playing a boatload of the game on Switch 2, but this also, of course, applies for Switch 1, because outside of some performance issues, it is the same exact game. All right, let me know in the comments down below if you've got any other tips or which tip in this video is your favorite. I'm kicking it off with one that Pokemon fans know if you've played this series for a long time, but I'll say it again here. The game starts out very slow. Look, you're gonna want to block off like an hour and a half for the intro to this game because it is so many clicking through dialogue, watching cutscenes, moving through very linear areas, but don't let that bog you down or get you worried. After about an hour and a half, 2 hours, it really does open up and much more of the city becomes open to you, and you finally start to get a taste of what this game is all about, where you can go, hey, I'm gonna go to Wild Zone 5. I'm gonna go fly to Wild Zone 2. I'm gonna go to the Pokemon Center and then fast travel to this battle area. Like, it does become the open luminous city that was promised. It just takes a bit to get there, and the beginning does have like some invisible walls that I found pretty annoying, but those do go away, and you will not constantly be buzzed on your phone from your friend to go do exactly what they want. Eventually it opens up, just be patient. The second thing, as we start broad stroke here, is explore the heck out of everything, especially up. This game allows you to climb up on buildings via ladders as well as hollow elevators, and you really want to take advantage of this because not only will you find a ton of nice views, you'll also find a lot of different items, berries, and yes, Pokemon. There are plenty of Pokemon even within the wild areas that are stuck way up high, so make sure you sneak around, explore around, and find exactly every explorable area, right? There's a lot of times where it doesn't seem like you can get anywhere else. You'll see, hey, there's 2 missed Pokemon that I didn't even encounter in this wild area. Ah yes, it's got to be up. So look to the skies, search far and wide, and make sure any ladder you see, any hollow elevator you see, you do take, because not only will it provide a new higher up location, but it will allow you to drop off a lot of times into a courtyard or into another previously inaccessible area and provide you with more Pokemon types and more items for you to gather and collect. Number 3 is within those wild areas, do be careful because they're called wild for a reason. You can attract multiple Pokemon at the same time into one fight, and that can be a lot. Look, if you don't have a Pokemon out, they will attack you directly, which is kind of interesting. I have yet to die from a Pokemon, but they also will attack your chosen Pokemon. And yes, you can swap at free will, which is nice. So you probably won't black out your whole team, but you can get ganged up where you've got 3 Pikachus trying to mess with your Totodile, and that does not feel good, especially early on. So do be careful and do definitely use that crouch feature. The game is going to teach you that, hey, if you crouch, you have an easier time catching Pokemon, you have an easier time approaching Pokemon, and so you're going to know to do that. But the thing they don't tell you is, like, it's also a great method, even if you don't want to catch the Pokemon, just to exist in those wild areas, just to say, okay, I'm not being swarmed by 3 Ghastly, and early on at level 12, this is too much for me. So make sure that you are stealthy, careful, and watch out. If you do accrue a kite worth of Pokemon following you, I recommend running, exiting the wild area, and coming right back in. The game isn't so sophisticated, so you are able to outsmart it in that simple way. Speaking of simple smart moves, you can rearrange your Pokemon team and swap from box to lineup at any point via the menu. This game is divided into a number of different menus. The start button is going to bring up your map. The X button is going to bring up your typical menu where you can save, access your bag, and yes, the boxes to change out Pokemon. You have full stop access to every Pokemon you've caught and can switch them in and out at any point, which makes things very convenient. Also, quick little bonus note, the Poke Centers here allow you to register them as soon as you arrive, and then you can fly back to them at any point in the game, and it allows you to re-heal your Pokemon as well as shop. The shop and the Pokemon Center combine into the same thing, so all of those are very valuable, and the boxes being in the menu, super convenient. Speaking of those Pokemon Centers, our next tip is that lost Pokeballs have a dude. What the heck does that mean, Zach? Well, it means that you're going to throw and miss Pokeballs. It's going to happen, right? Maybe a Pokemon faints, maybe you just misfired, maybe it's a flying Pokemon and they moved out of the target area. You're going to miss Pokeballs, and that can be frustrating, especially if you got a Great Ball queued up, you throw it, an Ultra Ball queued up, you throw it, and it misses. But thankfully in this game, every single missed Pokeball will be saved by the lost Pokeball dude. He hangs out outside of Pokemon centers and lets you know when he's got lost Pokeballs for you. Now, to be clear, if you throw a Pokeball and the Pokemon breaks out of it, that is not a lost Pokeball. That's a straight up broken Pokeball. So this is only the ones that you miss with, but you will miss some throughout your adventure, and it's very convenient and a money saver to allow you to go to the Pokemon Center when you're going to heal up your Pokemon, just talk to the lost Pokeball dude, and refill the ones that you flung too far. Number 6 is about getting into sticky situations, and those are the alpha Pokemon. Yep, alpha Pokemon are here with their glowing, gargantuan red eyes. They are bigger than the normal Pokemon, and boy, are they much harder. Early on in the game, you can access wild areas that do have alpha Pokemon, and while all the normal Pokemon are totally catchable and totally beatable, in fact easy at the start, the alpha Pokemon will wreck you. So if you see glowing eyes, probably stay out the way. The game introduces you in an early quest to an alpha Pokemon that is totally beatable, but then you'll come across others in these wild areas that are not beatable, at least not early on. They'll be level 28, level 33, and that's not something that your level 7 Chikorita is going to be able to handle, so see the fiery eyes, run far away. Back out in the open world, tip number 7 is that different attacks actually clear different things than you might think. This to me is sort of a weird tutorial miss for a game that's always so good about tutorializing everything. It allows you to break boulders early on in the game with a targeted quest, and that is using Rock Smash. So it made me think that, okay, if I see a bunch of vines, I'm gonna need Cut. If I see a bunch of sludge, I'm gonna need some other type of move. But that is not the case. In fact, many of your basic attacks can end up breaking through these things. You don't need to wait for specific TMs or HMs. You can just use what you've got. I used Totodile's Water Gun to break through the purple muck and goo. I used Cut and Slash from a variety of Pokemon to break through the vines and the branches that seemed like they would require Cut, but they don't. So when you do see obstacles in the world, make sure that you pull out Pokemon and try attacks that you have. Sometimes, yeah, they won't do anything, and I'm not sure if later in the game there will be more that require a specific type of move, but it does seem like early on you can bust up a lot of this stuff just by bashing into it, and that is something the game doesn't really teach you, and something that allowed me to open up a lot of areas to access more Pokemon in the wild areas, as well as just different avenues, pathways, shortcuts, and items when exploring the open world. Speaking of attacks, number 8 is that ambushing Pokemon in the battle zones allows you to use the same move twice. Now, in a game that's all about real-time battles and cooldown meters, doubling up on your best attack is something that can completely change the entire course of battle and even just make you win outright. All right, so at night when you're in these battle zones and you sneak up on trailers, the game tells you that, hey, if you get the first strike, it gives you a huge advantage. And that big advantage is that you can use your same move immediately again, because the first strike that you use to initiate the battle apparently does not count towards the cooldown timer. Therefore, you can just queue up that attack immediately again. So I can get in there and I can bite, and then I can bite again. I can Fire Fang, and I can Fire Fang again. And early on, this is going to be a clear, quick way to cut through the competition, as 2 of your top moves will probably help beat a lot of these early trainer Pokemon when you just want to get done with the fights, grab your tickets, and get on to the next rank. So ambush by sneaking up, not letting them see you. Pretty cool system. You got the roll, you got the tall grass you can hide in. Strike from afar. Make sure you don't have too much blocking you, because those Pokemon's attacks, if it's like, throwing out a pin needle, it will hit a concrete blocker. But gain a line of sight, attack the Pokemon, and then queue up that same attack again. You'll be able to execute back to back and blow them away. Now, while you're doing all of this fun stuff, completing quests, checking off the Pokedex, do not forget to go into Mabel's research menu. Now, Mabel is the gal that's tasked you with researching and surveying the area to build up your Pokedex and learn all there is about everything going wild in Luminos City. And she'll constantly be popping up on the UI saying like, hey, you found this, hey, you did this, hey, you're getting more and more research. But to cash in on these things, you actually have to go into the menu, click Mabel's Research, and click your way through all the levels that you've already achieved. This is something that I thought would just be given to you or put into your bag, but it's not. The only way you actually gain these upgrades, the only way you actually make true progress, is by going in the menu. Now, it does allow you to save up a couple of levels. Like if you've not done this yet and you go in, you might see, oh, level 4, 5, 6, 7 of the research Pokedex is complete. That's totally fine. You'll cash in on all of those. So you don't have to do it constantly, but just know that there are a lot of cool moves, and any sort of reward is very much tied behind that menu. You have to go in it specifically. Despite Mabel talking at you, she still wants you to go in and click through to get your stuff. Last but certainly not least for this video is the parkour challenges that initially looked like just strange scaffolding all over this city that is in a rebuild phase. But alas, the purple Pokeballs that you see hide colorful screws. Yeah, it's a bit bizarre, but you can trade these colorful screws for plushies, which I thought were something that Pokemon could hold, and I'm not a big Pokemon holder, at least early on in games, so I wasn't so concerned. But I did find this more platforming aspect of the game, it's not super platforming-ish, but a little bit, like the parkour aspect, to be interesting. So I was messing around, I collected colorful screws, and I traded them in for plushies that are passive upgrades for your entire team. So if it's something that says, hey, this plushie allows you to get more money from fights, if this plushie allows you to get more mega shards from the crystals that you break up, that's going to apply to everybody, your entire character. If it says that it grants more XP per XP gain, then it's going to apply to every Pokemon. So definitely go through and try to complete these parkour challenges that you see around the world. You'll know because there's scaffolding, there's arrows, and there's a purple shining Pokeball. Now, you might need to use the roll move to your advantage to fall off a high ledge and land on a platform across a gap. There's even some that I haven't figured out yet, if I'm doing something wrong or if there's going to be more moves that I acquire from my character later on in the game. But it's a pretty cool little side event that you can participate in at any time moving through the open world, and I have found those plushies to be pretty rewarding and beneficial as they are character/team-wide benefits. And there you have it, 10 great tips to get your Pokemon Legends ZA journey started off on the right foot. Are you choosing Chikorita? Are you choosing Tepig? Are you choosing Totodile? Obviously, I picked Totodile. That's my recommendation. I think Feraligatr is the coolest of the final forms, but let me know if you've got any other tips of your own to share with our community, and I'll definitely be back with more Pokemon Legends ZA coverage soon. In the meantime, enjoy starting this game off. It definitely takes a bit to get into it, but then it is a good time. So have fun out there. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, love y'all lots. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. SwitchForce out.